just looked at the freaking injury report. We got like half the freaking squad on there now. What's happening?
And still we rise.
And still we rise. Let's go. And welcome in, everybody. It is episode 199 of Out of Your Falcon Mind, Atlanta Falcons Fancast. My name is John, as always, joined by my co-host, Mr. Mike Cottrell, and a new member, possibly, just basically, of the show. He's been on 5 times in the last 6 weeks, Mr. Stephen Harrah, buddy. What's going on?
Hey,
Steve,
man,
I'm
happy to be on again. You know, been a little bit couple busier weeks for me. I know had a couple opportunities to come on. Just was visiting family in Georgia, so I'm going to be able to come in here. Though it does kind of suck. I mean, I'm coming on for a game we lost, so we'll focus on previewing more than looking back. So
Yeah. Mike, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, no sleep, Mike. Again, dog, it's what I do best. There's some days I get an hour's sleep, some days I get 30 minutes, some days I don't go to sleep at all. But it's one of my special skills. But I will say I stayed up all night with a beautiful female, and guess what I was doing, Johnny Yates? And I don't mean that. I don't mean like that. I'm talking about I was playing Operation. Remember Operation?
Shut the fuck up.
We played that with a slight twist, and you can use your imagination. But the game was Operation, which is still one of the best games around. Absolutely love it. Had a blast, but didn't get any sleep.
Yeah, that's pretty solid, man. It's actually amazing this show is even happening right now with the day that all three of us.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, like I literally made the thumbnail 45 minutes ago. Like I was working out with Liam, trying to get that in before the show. And I realized at that point, I'm like, I haven't even, number one, I hadn't created the stream yet. I hadn't made the thumbnail yet. I'm like, oh shit. So I told Amanda, I was like, hey, you got to just take care of him during this workout for 10 minutes. That I go get this all set up. Emailed y'all the invite. It's just been crazy, dude. It's been a crazy week. I know you, like you said, no sleep. Steve in the Coast Guard having his issues.
Hey, we're figuring it out, man. Don't worry, guys. Your taxes are well at work. We got it handled.
Oh man, but yeah, no, it's been a hell of a day. But hey, we're happy to be here. And except if you're here, hit the like button, subscribe for us if you haven't already, man. Keep moving that subscriber number up. If you're listening to us on any of the podcast platforms, feel free to drop us a 5-star review so we can keep growing on those platforms as well. You can email us anything, atlfalconfancast@gmail.com. We do have merch. It'll be in the description of this video when it's posted, and I'll put if I remember, I'll put the banner on the screen here in a little while. So you guys have the link for that. And real quick before we get started into the show, if y'all missed Mike and I's video yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? Maybe I forgot when I dropped. It's been a fucking week.
They all run together.
It really does. It really does. But so just real brief, I'm not going to rehash the video at all, but for y'all that haven't seen it, we're just making a change to the show. Basically, Mike and I will be coming live to y'all once a week, instead of twice a week. So we'll be doing Wednesdays, typically at 7:30, unless something comes up and we need to change the day. But that'll be for the rest of this season, and then we're going to evaluate how things are going at the end of the season. Then we'll decide if we're going to keep going or not with it. So it's just basically the algorithm has just been a bitch this season, to be honest with you. Like our new viewers have just kind of like flatlined, and the returning viewers are great. So we love y'all for coming back every week and watching and listening. It's fantastic. And for y'all that are listening right now, y'all have no idea what I'm talking about, because I didn't put that video on to the podcast platforms because it's really more YouTube centric. But it goes for the same. It goes same for saying, if you're listening to us and that's all you do is listen to us, then drop us a 5-star review there. If you're on iTunes, write us something. All that stuff helps. It just helps us grow, helps us get out there to more people, which is the whole point of us doing this. We wanted to have fun. We wanted to, but we told ourselves we weren't going to keep doing it unless we were growing. And so we just want to make sure we're maximizing that. And like I said, I found a video on this new algorithm that's going on, so I'm gonna dive into it and make sure we're doing everything that we possibly can to reach new viewers ourselves and go from there. But that's just kind of where we're at. And also, Mike and I do have another channel that we're going to be working on very, very soon and getting started with that, which has nothing to do with football at all. It'll be a very much more worldwide encompassing subject. I think you guys will really enjoy as well. But that's just the brief. If you haven't watched the video, you can go back. It's about 15 minutes long, but we explain it more detailed. Mike, you got anything to add?
Oh, just go watch the video. I told John when we first started, this house wasn't big enough for me. All right. So I just want to expand the house. That's all it is we have the opportunity to go forth and be prosperous. And I get you to do that in various ways. And me and John can crush it at multiple things. So we want to just delve into a few other things, but we would love to keep doing out of your Falcon mind. But basically what John is saying is y'all got to show us the love. If y'all want us to stay, show us the love. But, give me a hug. Give me a hug when you see me. It's free.
It's free. That's all it is. It really is.
I'll stick around. But just if y'all want to see it, just let us know and we'll stick around.
And the easiest way to do that, look, really, the easiest way, just like the video, like click the like button. That's easy. If you want to comment something, that's even better. It can be, like we said on the last show, it can be, hey, great show. Mike's got some kick-ass sunglasses. Whatever, it doesn't matter, man. Whatever y'all want to comment. Like Mike said, you could just put 17 different letters that make no sense. Yeah. It doesn't matter. That's fine.
Put in emoji.
Yeah. And we do try to respond to everybody, at least, on YouTube at least. And then on Twitter, we do our damnedest. I'm not on Twitter all day long, so there's a chance I may miss somebody. If y'all want us to follow you on Twitter, just tell us. Like, so I may miss it because that's not, just shoot me at us, whatever. Hey, man, can y'all follow back? Absolutely. We'll follow back. It's cool. It's just we don't always see it. That's the only thing.
And the thing is, I'll speak back, but it'll take a week. It'll take like a week after you spoke is when I'll answer. And that's on text message, email. You can ask John. A week after you ask me the question, I'll come with the answer. I just live a busy life, man.
You should preface that. If you send Mike a message on Instagram or TikTok, you may not ever get a response. Yeah. And it may just because he hasn't seen it or look at it. That's all. It's not because
as soon as I see it, I will respond. It's just
exactly.
As soon as I see it, I'll respond. But I don't check, as often as I should.
Yeah. So, and look, we all know, we know if we posted more, obviously that we would, if we were posting on a daily basis or whatever, it's going to get out to more people. We just don't have the capacity to do it with our lives the way it is right now. What Liam's got going on and just in personalized business, everything, man, it's crazy. It's just a busy time right now. So we just have to kind of adjust where we can and make it work. But like Mike said, we want to keep doing the show, even if it's once a week, even if it's, like I said, as long as we're getting out there and folks still want to hear us, then we'll keep doing it. So, because we're, like I said, we're almost 200 into this thing. So, it'd be a shame to stop, but that's where we're at. So, just want to let y'all know. But anyway, you good, Mike? Anything else?
No, that's it.
Straight.
All right. Watch the video.
Support the boys. Exactly. That's all I got to add.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh yeah, I should have asked you. Yeah, exactly. Appreciate you. Let's hop in the chat before we get started, man. What's up, Travis?
TP. What's up, fellas? Hope all is well on in Denver. We still in a good spot. You're damn right, TP. It's nice to have you. Mm-hmm. Big Ant. Say what's up, John and Mike. What's good, family?
What's up, man?
Sour Pickle said, what's up, fellas? Rise up.
Sir.
Wizard. What's up, guys? Rise up.
Thanks for showing up, Wizard. Appreciate you.
Our weakness. I love it. Rise love up. It. Bounce back time. We're going to bounce back.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is, Sour Pickle.
Yes, it is. Atlanta United.
Yeah, man. It's I was just telling the boys, it's actually from the inaugural season, the 2017 season. So yeah, haven't pulled it out of the closet in a while. Hey, they beat Miami when they weren't supposed to. Exactly. They got Orlando on the 24th in the next round. So I gotta support the boys too.
Shout out Georgia Tech as well. I'm not a Georgia Tech fan, but Georgia Tech and United are the only two teams that delivered this past weekend. So
sure was, man. They took down Miami at home. That was beautiful to watch. I enjoyed that. All right. So before we move on to the Broncos, man, Steve, your quick thoughts on the Saints game. I know you've watched some film on the offense and stuff like that, but take the floor, man. Anything you want to get off your chest about it, other than just pure anger and disgust.
I got all my frustration out, kind of early in the week. I actually remember I was so mad the whole weekend with everything just going terrible. I went and just shot around a bunch. Just went to the gym, worked out, and then I went to the court and I just shot around for an hour until it got a lot out of my system. So in terms of actually analyzing the game, though, I don't think anybody should overreact to the game. I don't think we're suddenly in trouble. If I'm completely honest, man, and I hate to throw him under the bus, like if Q just makes the field goals, man, we win. We scored 26 points. If you score 26 points in the NFL, you should win the football game. That's just on average. You're gonna win a football game if you score about 24 to 26 points. So, I thought Kirk had probably 3 or 4 bad plays, but outside of that, he was kind of standard Kirk. So, I mean, if you want to freak out about 4 plays, I'm not going to stop you. I mean, I don't care. It's a free country, but I'm not going to freak out about 4 plays.
No.
So I think going forward, it is an ugly game to drop just because, I would say we probably have 3 pretty hard games left with the Chargers, the Vikings, and there's a third team I'm forgetting for whatever reason. Then we have 3 easy games with Carolina, Vegas, and then the Giants. And then this is kind of the toss-up game. I'd say we have pretty okay odds to beat Denver. I don't think we're favorites, as I'm sure we'll get into. But I definitely think we can beat them. If we were at home, because this is on the road, right, to Denver? Yeah, if we were at home, I'd feel better about picking us. I'm still probably going to pick us because I'm an unabashed homer.
Let's go, Steve.
But the Saints game, man, it was really just like 2 miscues by Kirk Cousins. The strip fumble that we recovered, that really just killed it. We were going to win the game. We played better than the Saints pretty much the whole game outside of like 1 or 2 plays. We were driving to win the game, and then we get strip sacked. Luckily, we recover it. So I don't have any major takeaways other than I think, going forward, it would be really nice if Kirk could not fumble the ball every single time he's sacked, because I feel like every single time he's sacked, he fumbles the ball.
Especially from the blind side every time.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned that too.
I'll also mention, because obviously I think the last sack, Jake Matthews just gave it up, like that strip sack that was on him. But there was a throw earlier in the game that should have been a red zone touchdown to Drake London. And Kirk double clutched it, and that gave the pass rusher another second to kind of push Jake into Kirk Cousins. Then next thing you know, the ball's hitting the dirt, and we end up not scoring a touchdown on that drive. But to me, that was on Kirk Cousins because he double clutched for no reason. Like, just throw the ball, man, and you get a touchdown. So no major takeaways. I'm pretty much the same place I was at. I think Zach Robinson called a good game. I think it's just you just miss field goals and you have 1 or 2 mistakes, and that's a recipe for an upset on the road against your biggest rivals, man. So tough game though. I was definitely really pissed off the day of and the day after.
Yeah, when I watched it back, I mean, like the other thing too, man, the pass to Bijan right there at the goal line that got called back for Lindstrom's in, like that penalty, like that was a killer, and that was a bullshit penalty, man. Like he's got pushed into him. Like, watching it over again, I'm like, that's ridiculous. But yeah, I kind of felt the same way. Disappointed in Koo. It happens. I think Liam's out of his freaking mind here. Koo must get cut. Give Rodrigo play. You're out of your mind. He's still in his feelings about it. I understand, but that's the youth speaking, man.
So it's real.
That's the youth speaking. That's what that is. No, he's been one of the most consistent kickers over the league, and like we talk about every week, in a long time. I mean, it's a little troubling you missed 7 or what is it? What we said last year, 8 out of your last 15, something like that. Like that's a little troubling for sure. Like you got to get it fixed a lot sooner than later. Especially this season.
But this is John's speech before he fired you. What he's telling you is the next time, hey man, I told you he's good at this. You won't even know what's going on. You done walked out the office and he done put you on probation, but you asked him if he want to go to lunch. You don't even know what just happened. But good. Go ahead, John. Finish. Just watch the skill set. Go ahead, finish, John.
But we're watching you, goddammit. We're watching you. Like that's not. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it's like I said, that's unfortunate. But like I said, and we said in the last show too, it's heavily on the offense, man, for the second half, just not even showing up. I mean, when you were literally, what was it, 4 3 and outs, 5 3 and outs for the Saints, and we couldn't do shit with it on offense either. I mean, like they had plenty of opportunities to go down there and get it done, and just they couldn't do it either. So it was a combination of things that was very irritating. But like you said, man, you hit 2 of those field goals, 2 other 3, then we're not even having the conversation right now. But like we said, man, it's on to the Broncos. It's hilarious. Mike is back to his old freezing ways.
Oh, I didn't even notice it was frozen.
Oh yeah. This used to happen all the time in his old apartment. It would like be once a show, and it would be. Remember, he would freeze at the most funniest times. Every show.
He'd be like mid talk, just being like,
"Oh yeah." He'd look high every time. It was great.
For sure.
Yeah. So he'll get back in here with a better connection in a second. But we do have the Broncos coming up and going into Denver. They're coming off a just heartbreaker, man, against the Chiefs with getting their basically would have been a game-winning field goal gets blocked.
Chiefs magic.
There were several. I watched as much of that game as I could this week, just kind of prepare and seeing what they have. And I mean, and yeah, the refs, you could say the refs were a little bit iffy, like they always are with the Chiefs. Like it wasn't great, but definitely wasn't the whole reason. They had their opportunities too. It was overall a really good game by the Broncos. Like they played like Bo Nix played well, running game got going. Their defense is the real deal. Like that's a worrisome defense that we got to face.
They had a nasty blindside sack on Patrick Mahomes, and I saw it, and all I could think to myself is that was Kirk Cousins. Like every single bone in his body would have shattered.
I know, man. But it was so they're coming. Like I said, they're 5-5. Easily could have been. They could have a better record right now. Easily. I mean, they've lost a couple of heartbreakers. Overall, I mean, you're looking at. They lost the first game of the season 26-20 to the Seahawks. They lost the Steelers 13-6. Yeah. Then they won a 3-game run. They pounded the Buccaneers 26-7. That defense didn't allow anything. 10-9 over the Jets, which is obviously it's a defensive battle there. 34-18 over the Raiders. They lost a close one to the Chargers 23-16. Beat the hell out of the Saints 33-10. Appreciate that, guys. Beat the Panthers 28-14. And then they lost they got hammered by the Ravens, which that was their one just blowout of the year. Every other game has been just what you've been listening to, like a one score, couple of points game, but that was 41-10. Then the 16-14 loss at the Chiefs, which again they literally easily could have won there at the end. And Mike is back.
There we go.
Yeah, I got booted, but I'm back.
But yeah, so I mean that's how they've been going. So yeah, that's definitely a little worrisome, especially. Had we won this game against the Saints, like I'd be a lot less, I wouldn't say stressed, but a little nervous about it because you don't want to. It sucks. It would suck to lose 2 in a row going into the bye, then coming out, and you got the Chargers, and then you got the Vikings. Like it's not going to get exactly super easy those first 2 weeks after the bye. So this is a pretty important game for us. I mean, I would say, Mike.
Oh, I don't even know what you were talking about. I've been blank.
Steven, you go ahead, buddy. Sorry. Yeah, you.
Yeah. So Denver in general, they definitely have had some tough games. They're pretty up and down, and I think part of that just is part of having a rookie quarterback because Bo Nix is playing better these past few weeks, but that stretch they lost a couple games. He was just creating pressure for himself, making bad throws happen. So I think their defense versus anything but like the best teams in the league is going to keep them in games. That's why, they kept a tight game versus the Chargers. So for me, I guess going into this one, it's really just going to come down to like, can our defense either affect Bo Nix or is Bo Nix going to revert to kind of how he was a couple of games ago where it would be a clean pocket. Maybe the first read's not there. And then he starts trying to scramble when he gets a little antsy in the pocket. And when he does that, you you just think about throwing on the run, like it's more moving parts. So next thing you know, he's missing a couple throws, maybe getting an interception. Because our pass rush is not going to affect him. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. So you're really relying on him to create phantom pressure for himself. And the only way to really get him to do that is by having good coverage. So, that's the one good news. I think our secondary matches up pretty well with their receivers, Cortland Sutton versus AJ. I like AJ versus him, and the rest of their weapons aren't really anything to write home about. So it's definitely an important game because I'm with you. Like I said earlier, this is your toss-up game, and then you have 2 tough games right after the bye week with the Chargers and Vikings. And, we could win either of those games, obviously. But it's hard for me to sit here and say, yeah, if we lose this game, we're definitely going to fix it after the bye and win one of those 2 games. Like you're hoping to, but, it's going to be tough. So this is definitely a very important game. I mean, I think you can comfortably circle in 3 wins down the stretch, which that probably gets you to the playoffs. But if you can win this one, you give yourself some room for error, especially with Tampa. Their schedule is not particularly tough either down the stretch. So we'll see what happens. But I definitely think this is a really important game. And if we drop this one, it's not fire alarms or anything because it's a toss-up game and we're on the road. So if you lose it, you lose it. But it definitely it makes the season tighter than we were all expecting it to be last week. Because if you beat the Saints right now, so long as you don't drop the games you're expected to win, the division's yours. But now you kind of open yourself up for some shenanigans if you're not able to execute down the stretch.
Yep, that's what's frustrating, man.
Miss Linda said, I want to be out of your Falcon mind forever, baby. Hey, you're more than welcome to join us for eternity. She said, I can't get the coup issue out of my mind. I think he's got the yolks. That's what I said, Linda. so many game counter field goal. Yeah.
So for the Q thing, didn't he have like a stretch when he got cut from the Chargers? He had like a bad stretch there.
Yep.
And then we signed him, and then he's been pretty phenomenal. I'm hoping this is just another bad stretch and he kind of locks back in. I will say though, like kicking is such a mental battle, man. And if you lose that confidence that you're going to be able to hit it, like it can go sideways quick. So hopefully for his sake and for the team's sake, he bounces back this week. Cause I mean, I wouldn't anticipate the offense suddenly scoring a bunch of touchdowns, if I'm honest. Like I expect, 3 or 4 field goal attempts is if we're going to be scoring points, it's probably going to be 3 or 4 with a touchdown or two if we're doing good on offense. So this was definitely a bounce back opportunity for him because it was rough.
Yeah, and our boy Trayshawn did a hell of a job on Twitter. If you guys are on Twitter, breaking down kind of his mechanical changes, I guess if you want to say, like his stance, the way he stood last year as compared to how he changed it this year, and how that's maybe affected it too. So I mean, I'll go check that out on there. But which I mean, that's at least it's something that's on film. He can see it. He knows it. He knows what changes he made. Hopefully, he can adjust it. And just to keep plugging Trayshawn here. This is to give you an idea of the defense that we're going against. They're 4th highest in pressure rate at 39.2%. They're 1st in pressures, 153. 3rd highest sack rate, 9%. 2nd most in sacks in the league with 36. Jesus, wouldn't that be nice? We don't even have. What do we got? 9?
Man,
something. 10?
I don't want to think about it if I'm honest.
Yeah, I don't even know. Mike, it just kicked you for no reason.
Dog, I told you my laptop is fried. I just got a new laptop, so I'll be hooking that one up. But this one is done. I don't know why.
It literally just kicked you off. And then he said they're also stingy against the pass, allowing under 200 yards per game and a negative 0.21 EPA per pass. So yeah, that's a tough one, man. And you got, like you said, man, you got to hope if they get to Kirk, then man, that's gonna be a rough day. It's gonna be a really rough day.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've noticed too, John, watching the film, man. Like the late sack that happened to Kirk in the Saints game, just as an example, there's a massive rushing lane, and the Saints are playing like cover one man. So essentially, if you had a rushing quarterback, they're taking off and they're easily getting the first down.
100%.
We have Kirk Cousins. It just makes it so hard for the offensive line. And this is why I'm willing to forgive them for the occasional sack they give up, because when you don't have the threat of somebody who can take off and run, then pass rushers just know I don't have to worry about my rush lane integrity. I just need to get to the quarterback. And that's all that matters. And again, this isn't a diss on Kirk Cousins. Anybody who thinks Kirk Cousins has been, bad, I think is being ridiculous. But he does have limitations that, it kind of just sucks to deal with because, Matt Ryan, going back to him, he was the most mobile guy, but Matt Ryan would scramble for a first down. He'd get outside.
There you go, Steve.
Kirk doesn't do none of that, man. Kirk is probably the least mobile quarterback I've seen since like post neck injury Peyton Manning. He just does not move. It's brutal.
Yeah, and when
he's been really good, but it's brutal.
Damn
it's brutal
slow,
to watch.
Yeah, no, it is, and that's why I've like you, same as you. I haven't really been on the offensive line at all, especially because that's not what they were traditionally good at. I mean, over the last few years, like they haven't been fantastic in the pass protection, and this year they've been really damn good. I mean, just protecting to be able to protect the pocket passer like that, and like you said, know that he really can't get out, and if he does, then I mean, it's probably going to be a very short gain, if anything. Like that 13-yard run in Tampa Bay probably won't happen again this season. Unless we just happen to see that man coverage again, and the C's part, and he's able to freaking get down the field. But yeah, I mean that was wild, man.
Oh, there go my man Mala, Hall of Famer. He said, "I think your ceiling light reflecting off those shades is from your laptop, like a magnifying glass, buddy." Long live out of your Falcon mind, buddy.
There we go, buddy. Absolutely.
Long live the boys.
So yeah, let's take a peek. I don't really want to, but as I led the show off, talking about the injury report.
It is brutal.
It is brutal, guys. This is the worst it's been all year long for us.
Yeah.
Normally we're in the Broncos situation typically with about 4 or 5 guys, not that big a deal.
Woo!
Yeah, this week it's just a ton of folks. I mean, luckily Drake's full participant, Drew Dalman's full participant. Coach Raheem said, I think leaning toward Drew starting. That's kind of the idea, which would be cool to see him back out there. Lorenzo Carter limited, coming off that concussion. Kirk limited, he'll be fine. Right shoulder, right elbow. Mike Hughes with a neck injured in the last game, limited. Tyler with a quadricep, which I haven't heard that one yet, but limited. JD Bertrand finally limited. At least he's practicing coming off that concussion. Troy re-aggravated his knee injury last week. He only played, I think, was it 7 or 8 snaps, maybe something like that. It was not very much, but hopefully, and I think leaning toward he's still going to play, which would be great. It's if he's out and JD's out, that's we're dire straits at that point. Chris Lindstrom limited with the knee. Ryan Newsel limited with the calf. Zach Harrison limited with Achilles, which hope that was just a strain. And then D. Alford did not participate with a hamstring issue. Tony Hamilton with a pectoral did not participate. James Smith-Williams is likely going to be out, according to what Coach said. Charlie Warner with a concussion, which is worrisome as hell because if y'all watched any of the games this year or watched any film, Charlie Warner is so important in our run game. Like he is a fantastic blocker and just does so much in that. So that would really suck if he's not in there. And then Taquan Graham, I think, is going to miss quite a bit of time. May have tore his pec. Yeah. They didn't say that, but that's just what I'm guessing. The way that Raheem talked about it. So just way too many guys. So we may see Brandon Dorless this week on the defensive line that we've been wanting to see.
I didn't want to see him like this, but
not at all. No,
I'll be happy to finally see him.
Exactly. And then the Broncos have some guys coming back from IR this week. Josh Reynolds, from the hand and also being shot, so I think he's happy to be back on the field. PJ Locke come back. Drew Sanders, who I love. Did you like Drew Sanders coming out of Arkansas, Steve?
Yeah, I remember liking him.
I did too.
Linebackers coming out of college have been not great lately. So whenever I see a decent one, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, he was really good at Arkansas. I liked him a lot. He's probably going to be back. He hasn't played much this year. I think he's a 3rd-round pick. And then Zach Allen coming back, limited. Brandon Jones, limited. And then Delaron Turner-Yell, full prison with a knee. Safety. So, yeah, it's not ideal, man. And we're like I said, the bye week, man, couldn't come soon enough.
We need it.
Yeah, we need it bad. Those guys need to recharge. They need to heal up. And it makes you wonder, too, like those guys that are kind of like iffy, if they choose to sit them just to get that extra week with the bye week, which I would understand. But also at the same time, you really need to win this damn game. So, I don't know. I guess they got to weigh it. But also, why was Troy playing special teams again last week?
It does not make a lick of sense to me. I guess the special teams had been kind of bad, so it makes sense that you would want him out there. But in terms of coming back from injury, the fact that he injured himself on special teams and you've seen the issues that linebacker do to it, though I didn't talk about this too much, but Caden Ellis, after he was kind of mediocre up to now, the past 2 weeks, he's been phenomenal. He's been really good. Shout out to him for finally kind of waking up and being who we need him to be. But yeah, we need Troy back though. I love Nate, but there were a couple times when, people get outside the pocket. He just doesn't have the speed to catch up all the time. It's tough.
Yeah, dude. And if we have to call up, Rashawn Evans, if one of those guys are out, I like Rashawn a lot, but him and Nate are so similar in the fact that they have the same skill set. We don't need them together on the field, at all. We just don't. It'll be a brutal day. I'm wondering who they're going to, unless when you look at their defense, outside of Pat Surtain II, who's phenomenal corner, it's not really a ton of names that you would really know. There's not a lot of big names. They play really damn good together in Vance Joseph's scheme. Zach Allen on the end, and John Franklin Myers on the other end. Like I said, guys you won't really know their names. Nick Benito you might know.
Riley Moss has been pretty good for them too, and he
Riley Moss
Iowa quarters,
yeah. So those guys, I don't know who they're going to really match up with. Pat Surtain typically follows the number 1 around. So I don't know if that's going to be Drake, if that's going to be Mooney. I don't know how they're going to do that. But regardless, they're, like I said, they're going to bring the pressure because if they've watched any film, of which of course they are, they've seen it's quite evident if they can get to Kirk and get him on the ground, it's going to cause a lot of problems. So yeah, it's going to be the offensive line is going to be on their P's and Q's this week and not tripping over each other because freaking McGarry also watching the film. But it wasn't his fault. He literally, the first one, I think he got tangled with Lindstrom, and the second one was Bijan. Their foot got tangled, and he fell down both times. So it's that's just going to be cleaned up too. So it's just, this is not the ideal team to face coming off a loss, that's for sure. Especially when they just lost the game the way they did.
Steve, I gotta ask you something. Okay, now you asked me the quarterback that I wanted in the draft. Everybody know I wanted Mr. Bo Nix. I
Bo
thought he
Nix.
could do it all. You seeing what he's been able to do with Sean Payton? Does he, look like he will have lasting power in the league, or you think not really? He just got Sean Payton right now, or does he look exceptional?
Yeah, so to me, I guess, it's always hard to project quarterbacks going forward. We saw what the Patriots did to Mac Jones, where like Mac Jones was good as a rookie. He was legitimately good as a rookie. And then they decided to make their defensive coordinator their offensive coordinator. So, teams can mess up and make someone who looks good as a rookie kind of go off course. But in terms of Bo Nix, man, I think he's looked better than I expected personally. I wasn't the highest on him coming out of college. But I think the Broncos in particular have done a really good job trying to enable his skill set. They run a lot of short out routes and that sort of stuff that like usually you can't always get away with if your defense isn't that good, because you play the short game, you get these long drives. All it takes is one miscue. And the next thing you know, you're behind in the score and you got to pass more and you lose the balance of the offense. They've done a really good job putting him in situations to kind of manage the game and make good plays. And he's certainly made some great plays too. I'm not trying to discredit him. Is it going to last? Right now, I think so. I think to me, the bigger question is how much is he going to elevate himself? You know what I'm saying? Where is he going to be kind of a Tyrod Taylor type, kind of a spot starter? Or is he going to, take a step in terms of his decision making and his pocket feel? And if he can do those two things, then, because I talked about earlier, Bo Nix will sometimes create pressure for himself. He's just sitting there in the pocket, nothing's happening. Suddenly he wants to run up in the pocket and create pressure and make weird throws. And it leads to disaster. Some of his worst plays this season have been due to that. If he calms that down next year, I don't see why he can't be like a pretty efficient, game manager, better than that even. Because I always say we don't know anybody's ceiling until they're at it, right? Like no one knew how good. I always feel dumb because he's like the clearest example. Nobody knew how good Tom Brady was going to be until Tom Brady was good.
Yeah.
No one knew how good Dak was going to be till Dak, was a top 5 quarterback. Obviously, he's bad this year and he's injured and all that. But so for Bo Nix, it's hard to project going forward. But in terms of the tape he's put on this year, I think it looks sustainable. The question to me is is he going to improve those things holding him back to actually become a good quarterback, not just somebody who can win you games. You win with him right now. I don't think you win because of him, if that makes sense.
I said the same thing. I think he looked pretty good, but the one glaring thing about Bo Nix is Bo will panic. Bo will panic. It's like it just go off in his mind, and then he'll just run and just do something stupid. So he will panic. But I thought he's played pretty well so far.
I joked with somebody before. To me, it looks when Bo Nix plays quarterback, even when he's playing well, it seems like he just did a line or something before the game. Man, he is so like.
I'm telling you, he's like
he is amped up.
Yep. He will panic. He had
and
a month.
It was like that in college too, man. Every game, he's amped up.
He is amped to the max. Yep.
Yeah, you knew Sean Payton would have a good idea, a good scheme for him, and put him in, like you said earlier, put him in a position to succeed. And they've done that. I think. Listening to a lot of listen to 2 or 3 different Broncos podcasts, and they all are really happy with him for the most part. Like they think that he's going to be the guy. Like he's going to be the guy going forward. And from what I've seen, I can see that, especially when you're asked to start. Like any time a quarterback's asked to start his rookie year, it's just a crapshoot, man. Like because there's so much. We know it just from watching our.
Bryce Young.
Right. And then even in Dez, he didn't even really start his rookie year. He didn't start till later on in the year. And so it's just it's a whirlwind for those guys. So to kind of get settled and really, their second and third seasons when you're going to see more of what they're really about. So, but he's been, like I said, he's been good, and he will use his feet. He'll get out of the pocket. He will run too.
Yes.
So
he's good at that.
You're going to have to have somebody watching him. So like I said, Nate's not going to catch him. Ellis may not catch him. So we're going to have
somebody. I got a good one for y'all. So I got a good question then. Right now, okay, you've seen the footage on Bo Nix. You've seen it. And this is an unfair question, but it's out of your Falcon mind. It's what I tend to do, okay? It's a nonsense question, but it makes sense to me. Johnny Yates and Steve, you got film on Bo Nix. It's y'all more than halfway through his first season. You kind of know, even though you don't all the way know. Right now, if they say sight unseen, we'll swap Penix for for Knicks? Are you doing it? Or are you saying no? I'm sure I got my guy. I'm gonna stick with my guy.
No, I'm sticking with my guy.
Yeah, I'm with John here. I'm sticking with Penix.
No hesitation from the boys. No.
I love it. Yeah, I liked Penix more than I liked Knicks in college. So yeah, I mean that wouldn't change anything. Hey, y'all go ahead and talk. I got to plug my laptop in before it dies. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Fair enough. I was gonna say, I wasn't like super high on Penix either, but I liked him more than Bo. And I was gonna say this is kind of like film relevant going into this game. What Bo's really willing to do is if he basically has something deep that he can maybe hit and he has something short he can definitely hit, he'll take the underneath throw. It's kind of like Alex Smith, right? Like, and a lot of people hate that, but there's value to that as well, because if you don't take that 50-50 shot, you miss it. Well, now it's 2nd and 10 versus if you take the underneath throw, now you have 2nd and 5. So you keep drives alive that way. But what's particularly relevant for us is the Broncos as an offense are really willing to play horizontal. So like 5-yard throws, they love that. And our corners play so far back that I honestly wonder if we're going to change anything up. Because from my view, if we go into the Broncos game with the same plan as usual with our, AJ in press is what they usually do on the number one, and they have everybody else playing back, I feel like they're going to eat us up underneath. And maybe that's what we want to do. We're like, okay, if y'all want to take the 5-yard throw, we'll give it to you all day. But that's what the Broncos want to do. And then they want to get play action going, hit one or two big shots. So kind of relevant for that. But in terms of the Penix question, the one thing Penix will do is he'll take every 50-50 shot downfield. And I love it.
Let that thing ride. Yeah.
He said, I like my guy. And you know what? I like the faith he has in his team, man.
Bo don't have that confidence in him yet to do that. He don't. Yeah. He can trying to do the easy stuff.
Well, yeah, he had some studs at Washington catching that ball. So, I mean, and what won't change really when he takes over here, whenever that is. I mean, he's going to have a good crew to throw to. Which, I mean, that being said, Bo doesn't have the most phenomenal wide receiving core. Like Cortland Sutton is their top, and he has been – because he's on my fantasy team. I know what he's done this year, which is not a whole hell of a lot. Until the last few weeks, like I wouldn't play him, and all of a sudden he blew up one game. And blew up is a very relative term as
12
well.
points,
woo! Scored a touchdown, got like 60 yards, like that type of thing. But now he's starting to get a better connection with him. But again, like Steve said, I do like AJ versus him. I like that. Which, look, we got burnt by MVS last week. They were down their top guys, so we really shouldn't be just bowing our chest up about anybody we're going against. So at this point, but Marvin Mims Jr., I mean, y'all probably heard of him, of course. Jordan Humphrey, Troy Franklin, like I said, if Josh Reynolds comes back, he was, they got him, of course, from Detroit. And then the running game, I mean, Audric Estime was really good last week. Kind of gave the running game a boost. Hasn't been great. Javonte Williams is their number one. Jaleel McLaughlin number 2, but yeah, I mean that's been coming along as well. So it's go ahead, Steve.
We were talking about it earlier, when I was saying Bo Nix will take checkdowns. I wanted to mention that because Cortland Sutton is their leading receiver by like 300 yards, but their second person in terms of yardage receiving is actually Javonte Williams, their running back. So that just shows that like we need to be ready to match them in the flats and all these like kind of over the middle checkdowns. And then the rest of them are kind of like committee. It's a committee wide receiver room. They have one pretty good guy in Sutton. They have their kind of receiving back in Williams, and then everybody else is kind of, I think, the similar level, which is why I like our secondary matching up with them. I just wonder if we're going to be able to adjust what we're doing schematically to actually, challenge them more. Because if what they want to do is run 5-yard outs and we give them 5-yard outs, we're not challenging their receivers. We're just letting them do whatever the hell they want to do. So we'll see what happens.
Javonte is his safety net. So like Sean, like he gives him like an out on like every play. He just tell him like, hang about.
Yeah. Oh, Mike froze.
The laptop's going to kick him off.
Perfect timing.
Yep.
Mr. Williams, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
He's back.
You're back.
I said he's his safety net. So if ever he does panic, he could just hand it to Mr. Williams. He's doing that a lot. He just hang around the line and just wait for him to panic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, our we still can't really. We did a damn good job against Kamara last week in the second half, and really, I mean, like he got 50 yards in the first and 7 in the second. Like he did, I mean, and that 31-yard gain was a screen pass. You know what I mean? So like we did the defense in general did a really good job against them last week. So that's we hope we can bring that to Denver, because like Steven said, I think it's going to be points are going to be at a premium, man. So like you're going to have to. It's going to be one of those low scoring type games, and yeah, I'm not super confident, but we'll get to the scores in a little bit. But Steve, what do you think, man?
No, here's what I was gonna say, John. Here's my only fear is when you go up high like that, and then you get to running and you get gassed out in the first quarter because you can't breathe. And it's a real thing in Denver. So that's a real thing. So we gotta be I just hope everyone is good to go and we don't be up there and we are all tired and gassed out, because we sure don't need that.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it, dude. That's definitely part of it. So I mean, Steve, what's a couple of things, man? 2 or 3 things that's got to happen for us, like for us to win this game.
Okay. I guess the biggest thing for me is we can't afford Kirk Cousins to turn it over. I won't say at all, because I won't say at all. I won't say at all.
Yeah.
We can't afford for him to turn it over when we're within field goal range. That's what I'll say. We cannot afford to leave points on the board. We just can't. I don't care if it's a 50-yarder, 40-yarder. He can't do anything dumb. They have really good corners. They have really good pass rush. We cannot get knocked out of field goal range, because every single point we score is going to be super important.
Mm-hmm.
I think on the other end, I think the Sutton-Terrell matchup is super important. I would like them to lock that matchup. When I say lock, AJ follow Terrell everywhere, I'm sorry, AJ follow Sutton everywhere in kind of press coverage. Just man match it. Do that. That's what I would like to see you do, because I would like to think we can match up with everybody else pretty well. And if you take away Bo Nix's primary read, typically, and this is true for all quarterbacks. I'm not here saying if you take away Kirk Cousins' first read as well, he's not as efficient. Quarterbacks want to throw who the play is designed to go to. That's just common sense, right? But for rookie quarterbacks, that's when you can see, okay, my first read's not open. Maybe you get to your second read, but after that, that's when Bo Nix will get those happy feet and start running around, and maybe you get a sack, maybe you get a turnover, something like that. So those would probably be all right. Hey, listen, we had a handful recently,
I know, yeah, I know. Just last week.
Those are probably the big 2. I'm trying to think anything third. Maybe just don't let any terrible special team plays happen, because for Denver's offense isn't super efficient either. In fact, if you look at the numbers, their passing and rushing efficiency is basically the same as ours. So in terms of, what they want to do on offense, if you give them good field position, you're screwed. So we can't sit here and let off a 40-yard punt return, because then Bo Nix gets the ball at the 35, and dinking and dunking from the 35 to the red zone is a whole lot less yards to dink and dunk, which means less opportunities for penalties, less opportunities for Grady Jarrett to slip a block and then make a big tackle for a loss. Then we're in a good position. So to summarize all that, can't turn it over when we're within field goal range of the red zone. Match Terrell with Sutton. I think that matchup is super important. And then thirdly, just don't let up any big special teams plays. And part of that's probably like hit some fucking field goals, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. What's going on, Miss Maggie? Good to see
Maggie,
you.
what's going on? Maggie T.
Yeah, Mike, you got anything different than what Steve just went over there?
I think that one is you can't let Bo run. He is fast as shit, so you can't. If he start running, it's gonna be a long day. 2 is don't get caught in play action, because he can throw deep. He just don't usually do it. But I got a feeling he gonna be dialed up because of Sean Payton and how we got torched last week with that, with like the deep plays. And third, I would say, cool. You will be called upon to redeem yourself at some point in the game. If you miss, we will all be on your ass. I don't think that like the 30% of us that was like, no, leave him alone, will all turn on you. It'll be 100% saying, get him out of the building, because he in his mind, he in his head. You can't do that with kickers. Bye. So he will be called to redeem himself. He got to redeem himself. But I think that it's our game to lose. We are the better team. We are the superior team. So we cannot look. And I'm scared. The only thing I'm scared about is dropping 2 before a bye is bad.
Yeah.
Dropping 2 and then having that before the bye and then having to win at that point when you come back is all bad news. You don't want to be in that position. It's bad energy.
Yeah, not good. I have a feeling this game's going to come down to a Koo field goal. Unfortunately, I have that gut feeling. I'm like, it's going to come down to just a game-winning field goal, and he's either going to hit it or miss it, man.
He can't miss it because he done as a Falcon if he missed it.
Yep.
Mike Summer said, "Yo, I'll be at the game representing this week. Hey, man, we need you there in that Mile High."
Love it, man. Love it, love it, love it.
Let him know.
Yeah, man. For me, we got to start faster. We can't let them get up on us because if we get behind early, and they start pinning their ears back and coming at Kirk, it's gonna be a long day. We want to be able to run our offense what we want to run our offense, which is a nice balance of Bijan, and if Tyler's healthy, get him out there doing his thing. But we're gonna have to, ideally, man, like I said, there's been a few games this year that we just came out just kind of like just sluggish, not really, no real drive to just get on the board, and then all of a sudden you're down. Then it just creates a kind of a, like last week. I mean, first quarter, man, you take away those big explosives, and it's a completely different outcome more than likely. So, and I mean that was on defense, but still, like you just had to get a better start. You got to get a better start, defense and offense. I would love to see a first half that's put together as well as we put together some second halves. And I know it's kind of unfair because you don't know exactly what you're seeing until you get into the game. But again, make those in-game adjustments early. Try to make some changes. Linebacker play, I think, is going to be huge, depending on what that's like, what that looks like. If that's Nate and Troy and or JD, or how they're going to use Ellis. Like last week was literally the only 2 games this year that we've had all 3 linebackers, quote unquote, healthy in the same game. We had the week 1, and last week, and that was it. So we've never kind of healthy, right?
Yeah.
And notice we also played, and Aaron mentioned this on Locked On today or yesterday. We did play a little bit of 4-3 in this game, with all 3 linebackers out there. So which was kind of interesting, and we probably would have played more of it this year had they all been healthy, and seeing what that looks like. But the health of the linebackers, I think, is going to be huge, and depending on, again, whoever's covering, whoever Pat Surtain is on, the other guy is going to have to do some work. Because Pat is a pretty elite corner. He can be beat just like any corner, of course, but very sticky guy. He can play press just as well as anybody. Big guy, strong dude. So, if it's Kyle, okay, we can let Kyle go out there and eat. Let Darnell go out there and do his thing. Whoever's not being on him needs to go out there and have a game. Yeah, and like you said, I mean, it goes without saying, but yeah, Koo, hit them damn field goals, buddy. Like, gotta hit those damn field goals. So, Steve, give me a score prediction, buddy.
Man, it's tough because it's weird to project how many like touchdowns and field goals we'll score.
I know.
I'll go ahead and say we're gonna get the redemption here. We're gonna win 23-20. It's gonna be kind of the inverted of what happened.
I like it.
23-20. That's too close, Steve. I can't do that.
Man, you're a Falcons fan. You've been doing this shit for 40 years.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna go this 28-14.
Ooh.
No,
That's
28.
spicy.
Yeah, 28-14. Twice as much.
Double down. You say it with,
Double
say it
down,
with your
buddy.
chest. 28-14,
Yeah.
man.
We will put it on them.
I'm gonna go. Let's see. I'm going to go 2018 Falcons. And I could just as easily see that 2018 Broncos. I literally
gonna do it at the last minute.
Could. I mean, I just haven't. This whole matchup, man. I've talked about it for weeks. Like, I've been looking forward to this game. It's just a tough defense. I mean, we're going to see what our boys are made out of this week. That's for sure. Coming off that loss and facing, one of, if not the best defense in the league, we're going to find out, and see what our defense has too. And we're beat up, we haven't had a bye yet. So, it's going to be a hell of a game. So, just hopefully, we come out. I don't care how we win. I just win.
Just win, baby.
We don't want to be thinking about 2 losses going into the bye and have that sitting in our stomachs until that sucks. I mean, it's bad. It's bad enough when you have to wait an entire week to redeem yourself. Then you got to wait 2 more weeks before we play again. No, you don't want to do that, man. So you want these guys to go off, take a break, and feel good about themselves. So, that's where we're at. So, all right, boys. So, anything else on the Broncos, Steve, before we move on?
I'm trying to think. I guess the one thing that gives me some encouragement against this defense is I actually genuinely have been a big fan of what Zach Robinson has done as an offensive coordinator these past like 7 or 8 weeks. Ever since the Chiefs game, I think he really kind of locked in and has been calling some good stuff. Lots of taking advantage when teams want to play zero on you, taking advantage, in the Chief games in particular, he really took advantage of how they like to play man coverage a lot. He had a lot of pick routes, stuff like that. So I think overall I'm encouraged from Zach Robinson. And the one thing I'll say in terms of managing the pass rush, Kirk Cousins, he's very decisive with his decisions, for good or bad. Like, he knows what he wants to do. So it's rare to me, and that's why this past week was kind of annoying because he double clutched on a touchdown throw that should have been to Drake London. Usually he knows exactly where he wants to go, and that helps mitigate pass rush. That's why our pass rush has been so good. Or not our pass rush has been terrible. I'm sorry. Our pass pro has been good. Our pass pro has been good, not just because the offensive line's playing really well, but because Kirk Cousins knows where to go with the football, and very rarely is he like off rhythm. He's always on time, essentially. So, and that's something that's going to be big against this Broncos defense, because if he has more of those games, one of those games where he double clutches a few times, that's how you miss touchdown throws. And when you miss a touchdown throw, that's how you lose a game like this, like we lost last week. So just needed to be sharp. And I think, the offensive play calling will be there to hopefully take advantage of them, 3 or 4 times. You're never going to get the defense on every play, but if you can hit 2 or 3 big plays, maybe to Mooney, maybe to Drake, maybe to Pitts, I think you'll be in a decent position to try to win this game late.
Yeah, agreed. Have you been, I know we talked about it to you show well last time you were on, but how are you feeling about Jimmy Lake so far? I mean, you kind of...
I'll say this. We're asking someone to make chicken salad out of chicken shit because we just don't have a whole lot on defense on in terms of pass rush. And I'm sorry, like, a great secondary is awesome, but I will always subscribe to the fact that a great defensive line does more for your defense than anything else. And then you factor in the linebacker injuries, because usually if we had Troy healthy this whole time, we lose one of our weaknesses in the secondary. So maybe you have better coverage at times, and maybe you're not taking as much advantage of them. So I try not to be too harsh on Jimmy Lake. But
and you like Caden Bush, the passer.
Yeah,
more, so there's
not a whole lot of talent. I've talked about this before, but I tend to view offense you can scheme a whole lot easier than defense. At the end of the day, your defensive players, they got to be good, because it's a lot of one-on-one blocks out there for the defense.
It sucks too. I mean, you had the Rook injury, which sucked because he was coming on strong, and the Trice earlier in the preseason, and we don't even get a chance to see him.
We're getting Dorless now, though.
So we got to get Dorless now for sure. There's no doubt about it. You don't have a choice. And James Smith-Williams is having a quietly really good season. Like, I really liked him. Hopefully, we're going to definitely probably see some more Damone Harris too, which I've liked what I saw from him. And we just got Onyemata's kind of had not as great a season as I was hoping. Like, I was really pumped about him and Grady but Goldman, though, I will say Goldman, when he's in there, is pretty impactful in the game.
Yeah. Onyemata's, I think, having a bit of a slump season, similar to how Caden Ellis has been slumping. So maybe he finally wakes up. I think Grady also started the year really slow, but he's been pretty good these past few weeks. And I'm with you on Harris and Goldman. I think they've been pretty good. And I'm hoping, in terms of Dorless usage, some people like him more as like a edge player. I tend to like him more as an interior tackle. So I think he'll probably just take a lot of Taquan Graham snaps, if I'm honest. So maybe you see him on the field 20 times. And I'll say this, you get a young player out there who's been, I'm not going to say unfairly, I'm not at practices and stuff, but, in my view, I would have been like, we got to figure out something. I would have tossed him out there way before this. So young player, hungry for more opportunities. He's going to come out there headhunting. And you get 1 or 2 big plays from a young rookie, man. It could really turn things around in terms of this game in particular. So hopefully he comes out and balls out, because he's also the rookie on the defensive line I liked the most. I liked all of them. I liked Trice. I liked Farouk. But I think I had Dorless as like the highest rated, for whatever that matters,
It's from the tip of Jimmy's tongue in the press conference. He gonna say, "What the fuck do y'all expect me to do?" I mean, I'm trying to be positive. Do y'all see? It's on the tip of his tongue. He gonna blurt it out one day. Like, I gotta be positive, but come on, man.
And I mean, and this probably won't matter that much, but Dorless has practiced a ton against Bo Nix, so that was they play for the same college, so they're both at Oregon, and so they do know each other, and maybe there's a few tendencies there he can pick up on or something like that when Bo's in the pocket. Who knows? But anyway, we all got, except for Mike. Like Steven and I have a close game. Mike got him we're winning a 2-touchdown favorite.
I hope Mike's right.
I hope Mike's right all day long. I'd love to sit there and chill and just relax on a Sunday, and it's a 4:05 start for y'all that don't already know that. It'll be a late game in the afternoon, so that'll be something else. And and so we'll have all day long to prepare for and get ready. Cass, what's going on, though?
Cass, what up?
All right, so y'all know, if y'all new to the show, we do play some games at the end of the show. We don't just end the show. We play a few games. We have some fun. We do some we talk about stuff other than football sometimes. So we normally will play in or out. We'll play underrated, overrated. We'll play I Was Wondering. Today we're going to play all three of them.
Trail mix, baby.
Let's go.
So, why not? So, Mike, do you want to start it off, buddy?
I say let me start it off. I got a question for you all. I got it's a conundrum. I need you to think about your answer before you give it, okay? I need you to think about your answer. There are some wild combinations in this world of things that shouldn't be combined. You know, they say oil and vinegar, all this. All right. But I thought of the worst three combinations, okay? I'll run them by you, and you tell me what is the worst of these three combinations, okay? And I'm talking about a person. Is it, now, which is worse? Confident and stupid. Oh, that's a bad mix. When you confident and stupid, you're gonna have a bad time. All right? Or loud and wrong. Oh, ain't nothing more embarrassing. You loud and wrong. Oh, that's humiliating. The third one, emotional and impulsive. You're going to jail. But it's nowhere around that. You're probably going to jail at some point in your experience. So again, confident and stupid, loud and wrong, or emotional and impulsive. What do you say? Which one is the worst combination?
Well, that's a tough one.
I mean, what you said, impulsive and stupid, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah. No, impulsive and emotional, confident and stupid, loud and wrong.
Like you said, emotional and impulsive. That's probably the worst combo. You know what I mean? Like you said, like that could end up in like fucking jail. That could end up on the side of the road in a ditch. Yeah. Like all that stuff could go wrong, or really wrong. So that's probably the most annoying. Is probably loud and stupid.
Loud and wrong. It's confident and stupid.
Oh, damn it!
Confident and stupid. Yeah.
Okay, loud and wrong. Loud and wrong. I can kind of deal with because I can ignore you. Like you can be maybe like, oh, look at that dumbass. Like he thinks But like confident and stupid is pretty annoying.
Oh, you seen a lot of them. They just real animated, and you be like, he is so passionate and confident, but damn, you so stupid.
Well, that goes along with like some of the stuff I said before, like with headlines, like. For the folks that just run with headlines that they see, but like literally do no research themselves, like they just like nothing, and it's like, dude, like I mean, just a quick Google search, and you can and whether it's literally dealing with anything. I mean, like and politics, obviously, with the election just happening on the front of everybody's minds, like all it takes is just because both sides are going to say the worst shit about the other side. So
he's a reptilian shapeshifter. And then they go right and repeat it.
So if you really want to find out, you might want to go search for yourself to see what that actually is. So yeah, I'm with you on that.
I think the overlap of loud and wrong and confidently stupid is like it's a circle, man. There is Venn diagram. It's a circle, man. So I mean, it's one of those two for sure. I think emotional and impulsive, that can get you in trouble.
I mean, imagine if you're impulsive and emotional and like in a gambling situation. You're in a casino. Like you're fucking broke. Like you're done.
Impulsive and emotional is jail. Yeah.
I think as much as John here was right with a lot of the confidence too, but I think loud and wrong is kind of like a similar version of that. And it's honestly like I get secondhand embarrassment about it because someone will be so confident.
Yeah.
Like so they're so wrong. Like they're unbelievably wrong. Like it's the most dumb thing you've ever heard in your life. It's like the sky's green. And you're just like, what? And they're over here telling every single person they know about it. And the most embarrassing thing for me with it is like you can tell who they're telling talking to this stuff is just like, yeah. I'm like, dude, everyone here knows you're just spewing nonsense.
You're really
so I think
stupid.
for me, loud and wrong, because like someone can be confidently stupid and like not bother me at all. Like they're just in their own world. Loud and wrong, man, they gotta let everybody know what they're thinking. It doesn't matter. They can be they're the people you see in comments when they're talking to like a doctor who has a PhD in physics, and they're like, actually, the Earth's flat. It's just like, what are you talking about? So for me, loud and wrong is so annoying, man. Just admit you're wrong. It's fine. Like you can learn things.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm with you. Steve, you want to go next, buddy?
Steve.
Yeah. So are we doing a cycle? Or are we all on questions now for the wondering
stuff? It doesn't matter, man.
You do anything you want to do.
All right. We'll switch it. So we're in fall right now. In terms of seasons, so underrated, overrated here. I think the winter is the best season. And I know if you're a huge fan of winter, then yeah, you miss some of the summer swim stuff. But let's be real here for a second. When it's hot as hell outside, you go to the beach like twice in the summer, man. Yeah. You go to the beach like twice. When it's cold, man, I'm having like pits outside, like bonfire pits with all my friends. We're having beers. We're just hanging out. You can do a lot of back when I was up north in Michigan and we would do the ice fishing stuff. There's lots of fun stuff you can do in the winter, man. But mostly I just am not hot. And I sweat super easily. Like I'm the guy nobody wants to like guard and pick up because I'm just soaked in sweat. So for me, man, winter is so underrated. Plus you get the holiday season and funny story real fast about winter. So I moved from New Jersey, right? But my roommate was still there. We put our Christmas tree up right after Halloween. So we put our Christmas tree up like November. We never took it down. That shit was still up. It's already up for this. Oh man. Shout out Pat. Love you, brother. So yeah, for me, winter is so underrated. What say y'all?
Mike?
So I'm gonna do this. If I have to pick my favorite season, I'm gonna be on. It will be summer, and it will be strictly because of bikinis. I love nothing better. I love nothing better. I love nothing better than girls in like swim gear. It just to me, it's nothing better than that on earth. So I'm going summertime every time. Beach.
That's some strong reasoning, man. I can't.
Bikini is like it's just a work of art. Like God gave that to me personally, so I enjoy it.
Oh man.
Yeah. That's a strong argument, buddy. But I will go because I do enjoy like the cooler weather. Like I'll go underrated too. I because I'm kind of pissed. Like it's been here in Atlanta. Like today's been like the last few days a little chillier, but like it's 70s hot. And 80s still, man. Yeah. Like normally it's like this doesn't feel this like no. It should be getting colder right now. And yeah, I mean summertime. I don't want to get stupid hot. Like when we lived in Vegas, like that was a whole nother level. No, a whole other level, right? Like that was we had to get used to that. But like even here, the humidity and everything, like you can't run around naked, but you can like put as many clothes on as you want to get warm. It's like like that's I mean you can run around naked, but it's probably not really
you're going to jail.
You're going to jail. That's the whole impulsive and exactly.
Yeah, impulsive and emotional. You run around naked.
There actually is a nudist colony in Georgia. Did y'all know that?
Oh wow! No.
Yeah, it's a nudist colony in North Georgia.
Yeah, I'm gonna avoid North Georgia.
Only reason I know that is because what we do for a living. So one of my guys one time had to go do an inspection there.
Did he know about it beforehand, or was he just like, "What the heck?"
That's something to catch you off guard with.
Showed up, and it's like it's gated and everything too, and like he popped up to the door. Man about 60 years old comes butt ass naked to the door. Says, "Hey man, what's up?" He's like, "Sir." He's like, like he was just told. He called me afterwards. He was like, "I can't go back here again." He's like, "It's just So I had no idea though. That was the first time I'd ever heard of it.
Yeah, but I don't even like the gym. Like there are like some guys in the gym who just I don't know what it is, but they feel good about like, hey man, I'm just in here. Like I'll be like, oh no, oh.
So working in a gym forever, right? That's an old school thing. Like
Mike Doug froze.
Oh yeah, Mike's froze again. Yeah,
he's spitting though. I mean, I remember when I first started going to the gym in high school, whatever. I went to like an LA Fitness, and that was my first exposure. I was like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah, what is going on?
That's a very old school thing. Like, it's mostly old guys, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
older
yeah.
people.
Yeah,
Always
because
older.
like the old gym I used to work at, man, like there would be 4 dudes in there, probably 70-year-olds, just butt naked, having a discussion
Talking.
about the weather,
Yeah.
whatever, just
Yep.
whatever. I'm like, y'all couldn't do this with a towel. I mean, and I'm in there just, I know. But anyway, winter underrated for sure, man. All right. So I'll do in or out. So and you'll probably be in on this, Steve, considering what you just told me. Are you in or out on Christmas decorating right after Halloween?
Ooh, Christmas never ends, baby. It's a state of mind.
There you go. I love it.
We stay jolly. We stay holly. We love everybody, man. Christmas is an all around.
Yeah, riding around it was like, it was kind of, I'm in between because I love Halloween so much. I love the decorations. I love all this stuff. That's one of my favorites. But so I hate to see all those go down, but I love seeing the folks with like those big ass skeletons start decorating them.
My sister has one, and she's throwing on a Christmas hat.
Fucking love it. There's one in somewhere in Cobb, man. Like they'll like St. Patty's Day, you'll have like a leprechaun. Like they do shit for every different holiday. But yeah, I mean, I'm down. We haven't put our Christmas tree up yet, but we're starting to kind of get stuff out.
Just never take it down, man. It's a hack. It's a life hack. Save yourself the time. Do a favor for future you.
So we got, and Kane still, like, he's a year old. We got to hope that he doesn't go in there and like but we get the new puppy, right? We got a new puppy right before Christmas this year. So that's going to be, I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll just have to hope for the best when it comes to that one. But yeah, I'm all in, man. Mike, you in on Christmas?
On that. It is just there's no holiday that has you feel that good for that long. Like, it's just, you be just walking the dog and you can see everybody's house got the blinds open with the tree, and it just make you feel good walking, right? You just like, damn, I like that. Damn, I like it. And you feel good. It's people got the things around their cars, like the lights around their car. It's the whole month or two for you to feel good every time you see the tree. It's just a jolly feeling. It's all, you got all like the movies on and all that. It's just no better thing. So I'm fully in on that, John.
Except for Black Friday, everybody's really nice to each other too. Like,
a lot of everybody's like, we nice to homeless people. You give them $5 instead of some change. You give them that $5 bill, right?
And you walk away with a smile. You're like,
you know what
I might have got scammed, but you know what? I'm okay with that.
Well, you know what? Part B of that question: in or out Black Friday shopping? Mike,
I'm out, man.
Both out.
I'm out on that. Amazon is. I'm not fighting. I'm not elbowing an old lady. I'm doing none of that. No.
Did y'all see? Did y'all ever work retail during the holidays by any chance? You never did? Did you, Steve?
My first job was working at Publix in the holiday season, so it wasn't quite as heavy. But I definitely remember people coming in there for like getting all their food for big Christmas and Thanksgiving dinners.
Yeah. So my entire high school and part of my college was all retail, and the by far the worst one. If y'all are a certain age, y'all know what Circuit City is. I worked at Circuit City, and at the time, VCRs were still a thing. Okay. And just dating the shit out of ourselves, aren't we? But we had I remember it was like a $69 4-head VCR, it was like an early bird thing. Dude, there were folks lined up like down the strip mall. And there was a literal fights. There was a fight inside the store. Some dude bought the last one. He got tackled in the parking lot by another dude, and they started going at it for a $69 VCR. Man, I've never seen such crazy shit in my life, dude. It was just mass confusion, hysteria, all of it combined. So yeah, I'm for that reason alone, because I worked it for so many years, definitely out of Black shopping on Black Friday.
I'm with Mike here. There's no reason for me to willingly put myself through that. I care about myself too much to put myself through that.
Yeah, I don't want to get beat up.
Amanda goes with her mom every year, and Liam and I go to Waffle House when we wake up. Whenever that is. That's what we
love
do.
Some Waffle House.
Yeah. So all right, Mike, back to you, buddy.
Oh, I got a good one for you guys. A few shows back, John was doing this. We were playing the game. I think he brought up the 90s, and I said the white people music was different. Oh, the white people music in the 90s was something else. All right. So I just wanted to run that by you because I was thinking about that, and I said, Jesus Christ, I was just running this, but this was all happening at the same time. Green Day, Nirvana, Oasis, the Beastie Boys, Limp Bizkit, Pearl Jam,
Busy.
the Foo Fighters, Radiohead, Blink 182, Rage Against the Machine, The Verb, Smashing Pumpkins, Red Hot Chili Peppers, 311, Third Eye Blind, Korn, No Doubt, Nirvana.
Oh, cool.
All that shit was happening.
Did you say Metallica? Did you say Metallica too? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All that was happening simultaneously. So I wasn't making it up. I wasn't making it. All of that was going on at the same time. The white people music was.
What happened to my people, Mike?
I don't know. And you know, man, I'm gonna tell you, I was in the middle of the hood. I used to have to hide that shit. Because I'm gonna get beat up if they ever find me listening to this.
Oh man, you're like over here, Blink 182 in the bathroom, not letting nobody hear.
It was so good. It was all good, man. Everyone I just said there was a classic band. I didn't name any B level, C level. All that was A level. Green Day. Do you know how it made me feel inside when I heard Green Day? That dude got a voice that you can't replicate. All right. How about like Oasis, like the two feuding brothers? There was no better story than that, right? These dudes, Third Eye Blind is my personal favorite. Oh, I cried, was happy, had sex, smoked weed. You could do everything to Third Eye Blind, but I just want to say, like, I wasn't making that up. In the night, it was all good white people. It was all happening at the same time. I can imagine how like a festival was, even though I didn't go. I can about imagine if you had all of them on the same ticket. It was a different time. It was amazing.
They used to have big, so they might still have Big Day Out. I don't even know if they do, but like in Atlanta. So that was literally what you just said. It'd be like at Lakewood or wherever. There would be there'd be 5 or 6 stages, and it would be you have bands all day long. And we went there several times. Like it was amazing.
That's awesome.
Like one night there was 311 on one main stage and there was Godsmack on another stage.
You can't beat it.
Like it was wild. It was wild. But dude, also like the same thing though. Like I think music in general, like the R&B in the 90s, can't beat that either, dude.
Yeah.
Like that's
it's like peak,
peak R&B in the 90s too as well. But I'm definitely with you.
And man, last point on that is, if I know that y'all think that y'all knew and you like invented it, but a lot of people today dress like the girl from the 90s. Her name was Avril Lavigne. Y'all took her exact style and y'all just made it back new today. And y'all dressed just like this girl was dressing in the early 90s. I swear to God, she invented that shit. And y'all stole her swag and didn't give the girl no credit. Her name is Avril Lavigne. Google it. She invented that skateboard skater chick, like with the vans.
Boy, baby.
She was doing that shit first, and y'all stole it, and then just try to say you made it up. But it was an amazing time. All of that was happening at the same time. Think about that. It was epic.
It was hilarious.
Oh,
William, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you in here, man. Sorry. So, Steven, it's on you, buddy. Sorry.
Let me see. I have my pre notes from what I was cooking up earlier. I got one, man. I was watching the Hawks yesterday. Which shout out for them for beating Boston. Way underhanded.
Sure.
The NBA like midseason tournament is pretty cool or whatever. I just want to know, I'm just wondering here, why do teams not seem to like veto and like quality control the courts at all? Because some of the courts look really good. Like, how they're changing the basketball courts. Some of them actually look really nice. And then there was whatever the hell Boston was doing last night, where they had like, it looked like a green screen with like these diagonal like lines all over the place, and they were all different patterned. I saw the Pistons, I think theirs was just like blue. And not even like Boise State, like they're nice looking blue with like, it has a charm to it. This shit was just blue. It was just blue, man. I don't know what they were doing there. So I like the idea, but I feel like this is so common where like sports will try to do something like creative, and they kind of just leave it up to the teams. And some of the teams are amazing with it. You think back to like some of the Color Rush stuff, where some of the Color Rush uniforms I actually really liked, and the other ones were just total garbage. I think
Who has the red football field? That's terrible.
Oh yeah, that's so ugly.
So bad.
Dude, Boise State's the only team that can get away with having a colored football field.
Yeah,
because
they should be.
It's like a legacy thing.
Exactly. They should be the only one allowed to have the blue
Yeah.
shield, and that's it. Yeah.
So I just don't understand how these teams don't have better vetting process. I mean, maybe it was vetted. Maybe the people up in Boston like ugly shit. I don't know.
Hey, that's possible. Very
Yeah.
possible. Yeah. I'm with you. All right, man. So
I'm totally with you.
Yeah. So I got underrated, man. Underrated restaurants being open late at night. Like I was speaking of Vegas, like shit didn't close in Vegas. So we got very used to, that's been a while, but we got very used to like you get hungry at 10 o'clock, you just go and get some food. It's always open. Man, like, so I'll even go for stuff like, so like basically around here, like Chipotle and Panda, man. If you want to Panda Express, if you want to eat halfway decent late at night,
yeah,
that's probably your best spots, man.
Yeah,
it's always, at least the Panda next to us, it's always consistent. It's always good. You know, and it's not terrible. You know what I mean? And some of it now, if you get like the orange chicken every time, I mean, like it's the worst thing on the menu. Of course, you're going to be bad. But yeah, I go underrated, man.
That's right. And orange chicken.
I love orange, but I love orange. It's like literally one of my favorite things. But you can't get it every time because it's like it's literally the worst thing on the menu for you there.
Trashy food like that really hits sometimes, though, man.
Oh,
you're just like, I want the most trashy. Like I know this is not even that good, but I just want to taste something like whatever this is. I want it. I'm with you though. I'm with you. Underrated because I remember my first job, like I was talking about retail and whatnot. You know, my schedule essentially, I came into work at around 1. And I got off around 1 in. So first of all, that was a terrible schedle. I had no social life whatsoever. I was saving up money for college, and then I joined the military. So, you know, classic there. But I was doing all that, and I would get off work, you know, around 1, midnight maybe at the earliest, but usually closer to 1. I would go and work out, and at that point, you know, it's 2 a.m. The only dang place open was always like IHOP and Waffle House. I would have killed for anything else to be open late because, you know, I love Waffle House, but after I get done with a workout, I'm over here like, well, I'm really hungry. So either I have to go home and cook at 3 a.m, or I just stop by there and I try to get like a healthier meal with just some eggs or something. So I'm with you. Underrated. I wish more. And even honestly, not even just restaurants, stores. I remember 24/7 Walmart. Bro, you'd roll into Walmart at 4 a.m.
That's when we always used to go to Walmart.
Been out all night. It was sick, and now they took it from us, man. They took it from us.
It was like, nothing like seeing the pajama pants and like the meth heads in Walmart at 3 a.m. You saw it all. You saw it all in Walmart at 3 a.m. But COVID
midnight to 3, baby. That was the witching hour for like. That was if you want to see some shit, that's what you do. Yeah, we used to do it all the time. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. 100%.
Oh, I'm so on board. No, because I agree. If it's past like midnight, you can't eat healthy. Like you have to cook in a house. There's no way that you just can't do it. So I got one. All right, this is my last one. I just wanted to know: are you guys? Now I'm gonna hurt some people's feelings. I just want to know. I don't mean to, but this shit is funny, so I gotta fucking say it. Okay. Are you guys in or out on makeup? I'm gonna tell you why. Let me tell you something. Here's why I don't like makeup. Okay, and I know I'm a rough. This why I don't like it. It's not anything I could do to my face that will make my face change drastically. I could do my little line up on my hair different, but you wouldn't know that was me going away. I would look the exact same, right? But women got something where it's like, have you ever seen this split screen thing where it's like a no, like, ugh. I don't even know what to call her. And then on like the right is her with her things done. And you be like, damn, it looked like a totally different person. And this is no knock to somebody, but I got to say, young, I thought Paige, Beckner's was fine. That's fine. Oh, then so you see her in the pictures, then you see her on the court. And while I love her style to play, it looked like Matt Ryan was playing. Is that Matt Ryan or is that Paige? I was just calling him that. Now you look like Tom Green. It was weird.
Tom Green reference.
So yeah, love Tom Green. Go.
It's a compliment.
But, love. This is the Tom Green show. This is my favorite show because it is my show. It is a joke. But no, I just think that it's too drastic of a thing. So I don't mind it, but it got to be light. When it's all done, like you have painted a face on top of your face. That's not your face. You painted a face on. You painted pretty on. I don't like it. So I'm all for it if it's like a model shoot or all that. But that shit can be. I would hate to have the experience. Have not had it. I've been out and you get a girl and you bring her home and to you it's a very attractive person and you do stuff, and then in the morning, you like, who is this guy that broke in my house, and why is he in my bed? Why is Flavor Flav in my house? I'm calling the police, right? So I'm just saying, to me, it's a tricky thing, but I think it like damages the skin, and it would be genius if it did, to be honest, because the more you use it, the more you need it, the more you have to buy it. So that's what I'm saying. I'm just out on it. I just see the drastic change and like, that is some scary shit. Sorry, lady.
It's hilarious. No, yeah. I mean, I mean, dude, I've been married so long, and Amanda actually, she hardly. I mean, she wear it when she like goes to work or whatever, but she hardly ever wears it. And luckily, I mean, I'm lucky that she looks really good without it. So like, yay me, But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you here. I mean, Becca, my fiance, obviously get married here in March. Super excited for that. She doesn't wear a ton of makeup either. And in fact, it was we did like engagement photos, and she was wearing like a good bit of makeup, and I was like, this is weird. Like to me, that's just like uncanny.
Yeah,
I'm so used to her without it, and obviously I'm marrying the woman for a reason, right? I think she's freaking hot as hell. So when she puts all the makeup on, she still looks like herself. It's just different. It's weird to me. I still very attractive and all that, but it's just not for me. I like it kind of without the makeup.
I prefer to, yeah.
Just it also, like you're saying, man. I also think it creates like expectations. Because like you're saying, when you see someone like always dolled up and everything, and then they're not. It's not that they aren't attractive or whatever. It's just like you're expecting a certain look.
Yeah.
They take all that off. I mean, it'd be like if I shaved my mustache, man. I wouldn't be the same.
You look different, yeah. You look totally different, yeah.
So imagine you just go to bed with me, and in the morning I shave my mustache. Craig, you'd be like, "What? Like, who is this guy?"
Exactly.
Well, I know you've seen Schitt's Creek, dude. Like when what's his name shaves his beard, And
It's
like,
you look
scares the shit out of him. Yeah,
full bearded mustache. Imagine you shaved all that. You ever seen the videos like kids crying when their dad finally shaves? That's what it's like.
It'll never have to happen for me because I'll never shave it ever.
Hey,
like
I've had this mustache for let me think here, about 5 years now.
Yeah, no,
never going.
Exactly. All right, man. Steve, your last one, buddy.
All right. So this one will be more football related. 12-team playoff system in college football. I'm super excited for it. I know a lot of people are upset because they're like, Alabama's lost 2 games. Georgia's lost 2 games in prior seasons. That would mean they're eliminated from the playoffs. And, yapping about that and all that. I think it's more exciting because I saw the college football rankings. I want to pull back up, but like they had BYU in the top 4. Man.
Yeah.
They have
undefeated. Right?
They have Boise State in the top 12. We were just talking about them. Imagine them hosting a playoff game as like the 6th seed or something. And, you got to go to play on the blue field, man. It's going to be sick. Like I'm so excited for it. I think it's going to create a lot of good matchups. I think it opens the realm for teams that like their schedule isn't good. So you don't want to like just give them credit and make them a top 4 team because they didn't play anybody. But they also won all their games. So like clearly they're good, right? So let's just throw them in as like the 7th seed. Give them a playoff game. If they're actually good, they'll probably win it. If they're not, they'll get bounced. It's not a big deal. So I'm a huge fan of this. I'm so excited for it. I think it has made the regular season way more interesting for every team, honestly. Because every team is like, well, if we just win out, we have one loss right now, but it was to Alabama. That's a good loss. If we just win out, we can make the playoffs. We can have a run. So I'm all for it. I don't know why people were so against it all the way up until now for forever. But I'm super excited for it. So y'all like it? Y'all in? Y'all out?
I'm with you. It's more like you said, because it's instead of you like narrowing it, it's probably gonna be it's up to everybody now. So shit, we all excited to watch it. It could be this, it could be that. So yeah, I think it's just better for like the fans and the schools and like general, because you all have a shot now. It's kind of cool.
So I flipped on this. I initially was one of those old guys like yelling at a cloud, like, no, like this is horse shit. Like this takes away all the fun of the regular season because like, prior to it, like you said, Steve, like if you lose 2 games, well, there's no question you're not going to be in the playoffs, not in the 14 playoff at least. You're out. That's it. Your season's over. So my thought was like, well, you're taking away because essentially for a lot of teams, every week's a playoff week. their playoff game. Like, I mean, you're trying to do that. If you lose, you're pretty much out, but now with this, like I said, I like through the season now, I've changed my mind because even the team, it's the same thing, but now the teams have a more of a cushion. Like they can lose 2 games, possibly, and still make it, depending on how other teams may fall. So yeah, I'm actually all for it now. I think, and I was on the line because I was excited about the number of teams in it, and just in general, like it just makes it more interesting, more fun. But yeah, the fact that that we're going to see some really, really cool matchups, I think, in this that we never would have got a chance to see without it. So yeah, I'm all for it. All right, we're gonna close this one out.
Hold on, John and Steve. I have a question. And like the history of the sport of like college football, right? Like if you're in the history of it, I ain't talking about and just like who's like known as like the best team? Is it like Alabama? Is it like the top tier is Alabama? This is where all the cool players go. This is a good player. They always dominant. Or is it like another team who we don't hear? Because all I hear is Bama. Like they the standard. They gonna kick your ass. They probably gonna win. They like rarely lose, and they always good. Are they by far like the top team in college football? Like year after year after year after year.
Goes through phases. I mean, like, Saban obviously before Saban, like after Gene Stallings left Alabama, so it was like Bear Bryant, Gene Stallings, really, really good at Alabama. Gene Stallings left, went to shit. Like pretty much those years between Stalling and Saban, not very good.
Okay.
Like recruiting fell. It's all recruiting. So like if and nowadays with you throw the NIL into it, it's just a wild, wild west. So you got guys that can transfer every year, and like used to, if you transferred. You had to sit out a year before you could play, so like nobody would do it because they didn't want to cost them that year of playing. So now it doesn't matter. You can just go wherever you want. And that's why it's hard to keep up now with guys. Because like, you literally can you'll see guys sometimes like they're on their 3rd or 4th school, which never would have happened before. So it's definitely, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes now because it's it's definitely more, parity in it, I think, than there ever has been. It's been because it's like there's no clear to me this year, that team is better than everybody. Like there's I think any of the top 6, 7, 8 teams can beat each other just on any.
That makes it good. That makes it good.
But history wise, Alabama, man, USC had a big run. Nebraska was good for a while. I mean, there's
Nebraska.
Nebraska had like. Yeah. Was that early 2000s? Not yet 90s. Early 2000s.
90s into early 2000s,
USC and stuff. Yeah.
But Texas had a run. I mean,
I'm with John here. Usually it's cycles, but I will say I think the most, in terms of long-term sustained championship level success, is probably Ohio State, right? Like
Ohio State's up there, yeah.
Like in terms of like, it's not that they like Alabama, for example, went through stretches where they just were always winning. Ohio State's more like. They were always relevant. Like they were always in the conversation for the national championship. It doesn't mean they won all the time, but they were pretty much always like a 10-win plus team, that sort of thing. Where Alabama had more.
They got more. Alabama has more championships than.
Yeah, they do, but because you had like Saban winning one every other fucking year, man.
Right, exactly.
They be killing in Alabama. Yeah,
man.
Yeah, I mean, and you look at the facilities too that they built. I mean, those facilities there, dude, are just. Have you ever seen it, Mike? You should. Google Alabama's athletic facility, dude. It is amazing. It's like a professional level type of thing. Like
that's why they get some good players.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But it's and too, the way the conferences are broke up now, like it's the SEC is not the old SEC, the ACC. I don't even know what the hell that is anymore. The Pac-10, 12, whatever is the Big Ten's different. Like everything is different. So it's just a big hodgepodge of craziness. But I like it. I enjoy it. All right, so we're going on a bang on this time. I was wondering, man, have y'all ever been blacked out drunk? And if so, what was the cause? What was the situation that happened that caused that?
I'll take it off. I'll take it off.
No, go ahead, Steve. Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
Okay, I was going to say, I'll take it off the rip. All right, we were port calling in Key West, man. We were going to put our boat in dry dock and everything. And I remember I went out with my buddy Ian. We're kind of bar hopping around. And eventually we end up settling up into this one spot, kind of by a club. It's more of a quiet place, right? So we're just up there drinking and whatnot. And I don't want to say I got blackout drunk because I remember parts of it, but some point throughout the night, I had stolen my supervisor's phone and left. I walked back with my buddy Ian, who was equally as fucked up as I am. At some point, I threw up and I was like, Ian, do you have a rag? And he's like, I got you. And this was on the walk back. He took off his shirt, and I didn't realize he'd taken off his shirt till like we were back on the boat. So we walked like, probably 2 miles just through the streets getting back to the boat. And the whole time he's shirtless, and I don't even realize it. My fiance, girlfriend at the time, fiance now, right? She called me and is trying to talk to me, and I'm just dumb as hell and drunk, so she's not understanding what I'm saying. And then Ian's like also drunk and dumb, so then he takes my phone and is trying to talk, but he's like, she can't understand him either. So that was probably the most I got messed up. It was a ton of fun. I actually remember we have our department manager basically had just reported to the boat as we were coming out of dry dock. And I remember this was my first time port calling with him. And I had come down these stairs, and there was this, it was actually really funny because I was coming down these stairs, kind of slung up on my buddy Ian. And there's this older black lady. He's like, you better not throw up on my steps. As I'm coming down, I get right out the door. I get to this trash can. I throw up in it. I feel okay. I look back and I see my new engineering supervisor there, my chief there. I'm like, sup, chief? And immediately he said, you need to get him home. And that's like, it just stands out in my memory. And he was awesome. I loved him. But that was probably the most drunk I'd ever gotten. It was a ton of fun because I usually try to watch a little bit of what I drink, but I don't know. I got carried away with Ian because Ian doesn't. So I'm like, oh, I'll match you a little bit. And yeah, it was shots. We had a lot of shots is what it did.
Shout out to Ian, man.
Shout out to Ian. Love that guy. He's a big Lions fan. He's having a good time.
I bet. Yeah,
mine was hilarious. I was at a club and I don't like to drink that much. I rarely drink.
In Atlanta or back home?
Huh? At home. I was at home.
Okay.
And I happened to drink too much, and it was a girl in the club, and I just started flirting with her and all. So I asked her, like, man, you want to leave? You want to go home? And so we at the club. I'm with a group of friends. She with a group of friends. But I just asked her, man, why don't me and you leave? So we left. Now I shouldn't be driving, but I'm driving. I am drunk driving. I'm trying to go for the gold, right? So I get home and it went down, right? But here's the funny part: is right after it happened, I was so drunk. I don't know, like how you come to after,
Yeah.
That was in my mind, and I was just staring at this girl, and I never forget this shit. I started crying and screaming at the girl. Here's what I was saying. This is funny shit, like now, but at the time it was traumatizing. I was drunk, and I had just so I was standing up. I don't have on any clothes, and here's what I'm saying. This is fucked up, but it's true. So I'm just like, man, I didn't know that you was this ugly, and you gonna have a baby. I know you're gonna get pregnant, and you gonna have a baby, and then you all ugly at the cookout. This was all I kept saying was, "Is you ugly at the cookout?"
At the cookout.
Yes, I'm so drunk. I'm saying you all ugly. I shouldn't even did this because I know you're gonna keep it to her face.
Oh my
to
God,
her
dude.
face.
Oh,
So I'm just thought, man, you ugly, because when we was at there, it wasn't no lights in there. Fuck that club, them damn lights. And I'm crying, and the girl is so being nice to me. All she keeps saying was, I'm not ovulating, I know my body. And she kept saying that. And she didn't say anything about I was calling her ugly. I'm crying. Man. And I'm just, I know you're gonna do fuck my life. I hate you. And the girl, and I cried until the girl left. And then I just slept on the floor. And when I just woke up, I was naked on my floor. And I was sad. And I said, you know what? I'm not drinking that much again. And I was scared for like 3 months after, because I'm kind of waiting on. Oh no, I've made a horrible mistake, but I didn't. So
did you ever see her again?
I saw her in the club like a month after that, and she spoke to me, and all I could do was act like I wasn't me. I know she knew it was me. I was like, huh? She said, Mike. I'm saying, huh? And she like, Mike. And I was like, huh? And I act like I didn't know. And she knew I was lying and still walked off. But I was so mean to that girl. I was so drunk. I called her ugly. I called her I shouldn't even have did that. You ugly, and you gonna keep the baby. You gonna embarrass me at the cookout. Just pissy drunk. And then I threw up on the floor and slept on the cold floor. I don't know what it is when you're drunk. Sleeping on the floor is
where you end up, dude.
Yeah, it's very comfortable. So I just slept on the floor, cold, naked. But I was embarrassed and I was ashamed, and I told the girl I was sorry. So bad story, but I just learn not to drink that much.
Yeah, well, my only that's a hell of a story, by the way.
That is
the only time I've ever blacked out was when Amanda and I got married, we were the first ones of our friends that had a house, right? So it ended up being the parties at our house like all the time. So it was like an old like 50s style brick ranch with a basement, and so everybody always ended up downstairs. We had a ping pong table downstairs. It normally ended up as a beer pong table.
Mhm.
But I was drinking all night. We had about probably 20, 25 people there. And at some point, I guess at this point, I'd never had Red Bull and vodka before together. And so I had already probably drinking too much. And then somebody gave me that. And I was like, that is fucking good. I was like, I need to, so I just kept going with that. And at some point is when it just
yeah.
So what I'm about to tell you is I had no recollection of doing. Amanda told me this the next day. So one of my buddies got there late. And I saw him. He was like, we had the storm door. We had the regular door, right? I was like, hey, Josh. So I ran. Didn't.
I know.
I didn't care that the storm door was there. Went right through it. We tore it off the hinges.
Mhm.
Tackled him through it. Screen's gone. He was like, Jesus, So that happened. Then we go back in. My buddy is playing ping pong. I fuck with him. He hits me in the freaking ding dong with the damn ping pong pad.
Oh.
Apparently, I rock bottomed him through the ping pong table.
Oh shit!
Just picked him up, threw him through it. Then he wanted to fight me. So we went out back. We're in the fucking yard, circling around each other, about to throw down. And then we started laughing, and then fell down and started just we all back in yeah, that's just stupid. We were in. Apparently I had some pigs in the blanket earlier in the night. I guess I didn't chew them at all because I threw them all up just how I ate them. And so I had to be carried up the stairs by two of my buddies, put in bed, everything. This all happens. I had no idea. I wake up the next morning. I'm just completely I'm what? Just a brain fog. Have no idea. It's what has happened? What happened last night? I go downstairs. There's shit everywhere. There's beer on the fucking wall. There's the ping pong table's trashed. The doors hanging off the hinges. And I got so pissed. I was so mad. I come upstairs and I'm like, what the fuck happened last night? And Manager stared at me. She was like, you did all of that shit.
Yeah, you did all of it.
You said you happened last night. You did. And I was like, no fucking way. And thank God there's no social media. There's nobody with their phones out, filming me, because that would have been a terrible thing. Mm-hmm. So needless to say, that was the last time I ever had Red Bull and vodka. Never had it again. As good as it tastes, I was like, yeah, this is a terrible idea. It's just going to keep me awake, and I'm going to keep drinking, which is what happened. Yeah. And it all went to hell after that. So yeah, that was mine.
What you drink now, John? If you have to have a drink.
Whiskey, bourbon and whiskey. Yeah. That's for me, for sure. Whether it's on the rocks, if it's neat, if it's ginger ale, I like it in ginger ale. I like a whiskey.
What's the limit, John? What is it, 2 or 3? Where you be like, before I even start, I'm just 3, and then I'm done, or is it wing it and see how I feel?
During COVID, I may have drank a little more than normal because there wasn't much else to do. So my tolerance is a little higher than it probably should be.
Yeah.
So I actually haven't touched anything in 2 months, but typically I could have 3 or 4, be just fine, no problems, which is probably too much, but I mean, if I do now, no, it's either 1 or 2. So yeah, I'm good.
Steve, what you drink, Steve, if you got to drink something?
It depends. If I'm out on kind of a port call, usually that stuff drags. And I'll be real, I really only drink on port calls for the most part. So when we're out with the boat, hanging out. And during those ones, I'll usually just drink beer. I usually drink darker stuff, so a lot of Guinness. Just because the night goes so long that if you go too hard, too fast, you're going to get burnt out. Yeah. Because, we're all staying out till the bars close pretty much because, we're pulling in for a day. We don't have work the next day. So we just go out, hang out, and then cool down the next. But usually I just drink Guinness on Guinness. That's probably my go-to. But I'll drink any sort of beer.
I go Sam Adams, Steve. That's Sammy Adams.
Man, listen. If someone gives me a free beer, I've even drank freaking Natty Lights. And now, mind you, that's donkey piss in a bottle, or not a bottle,
sure is.
A can. But I've drank it. If it was free, I was like, all right.
The Sam Adams, I love the Oktoberfest. That's really good.
Love Sam Adams.
I go through phases with beer. Right now, I'm on Modelo. That's I love that's my thing right now. Crispy, what's up, buddy?
Crispy said, I hope y'all stay around, man. He made a second show. He said, y'all perfect to listen to in California traffic. I love it, buddy.
Hell yeah,
That's
man.
the goal, buddy. The goal is to stick around. That is
Hey,
definitely
man,
the goal.
man, I'm going full girl on my drink. I'm drinking a mojito. Oh,
That's
and
Amanda's
here's the
favorite.
crazy part. I'm tipsy. So it's just embarrassing. I drank a mojito and tipsy.
But it tastes so
But it
good.
don't
It
make
does.
your breath stink. It's mint, so it's kind of cool.
Dude, it tastes amazing. That and pina coladas. I don't give a shit what you say. If you're a dude, if you don't like those, you're lying because they both taste good.
And I love
I love fruity drinks, dude. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah,
I say that. I
go
love fruity
girl
drinks.
on my drinks.
They do. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Look,
all
so
right,
when the waiter come, he got 2 drinks. He always hands the girl mine. I mean, the girl mine and me the girl. Who wants the fruit? Oh, so that's me with like the umbrella and like the orange peel. Oh, I'm getting a girly drink 100%.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. When I go to restaurants and stuff, so that's when I go Port Collins, we're just bar hopping. That's beer.
Yeah.
When I go to restaurants and whatnot, I'm getting me my little fruity drink, man. I deserve it.
I'm getting a fruity drink 100%.
That's great. That's great. I love it. Yeah, who cares? That's great. All right, boys. Hell of a show, man. We Steve, thank you, man, for coming by and spending an hour 40 with us. And when we all barely made it, but hey, we made it. So chat, man, thank y'all for coming by. Guys on Twitter, girls on Twitter, appreciate y'all for hanging out with us for again, hour and 45 minutes, basically. So we'll be back on next Wednesday. Again, going to our new schedule. We may drop a reaction video, like Mike may record himself after the game, being real happy after we win or something like that. Who knows? I might do the same. But it will be nothing. We won't do a show on Sunday. So we'll, again, just look for us next Wednesday, 7:30. And it'll be our show number 200. So we're going to have to do something special for that.
I got some stuff lined up for y'all for 200. I got something I want to do. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. So definitely make sure you're all there for that one. If you can be there for the live, great. Hey, it's all good. If you can't, we know everybody's got different schedules. So it's all good. But again, follow us on Twitter, Out of Your Effing Mind. You can follow us on Instagram or TikTok, Out of Your Falcon Mind. Email us, atlfalconfancast@gmail.com. I did not put the banner on the screen for our merchandise. So just look in the description of the video and you will see it because I always forget.
We are running on fumes, but damn it if we didn't pull it off.
My pre-workout is completely gone. So now now I'm getting hungry, so I'm time to eat. But anyway, Steve, tell people where they can find you. And obviously, and if y'all didn't know, if y'all knew or missed it, Steve has been doing some film breakdowns on his YouTube channel, which I'm sure he's going to share right now. Make sure you go check that out. Does a fantastic job. Go ahead, Doug.
Yeah. So I try to keep myself consistent. You can find me at Harrah ATL on YouTube, Twitter, and then as of late, I've been trying to use a little bit of Blue Sky, kind of a Twitter lookalike type thing. It's not bad, but I those are my main 3 socials. But yeah, my YouTube channel, I've been trying to put out 1 video a week, kind of like y'all. Initially, when I started this, I was like, I can do 2 videos a week, man. I got it. And then the schedule picked up a little bit. I'm like, well, if I want to do all these other things, I'm going to have to scale it down. So I try to do 1 video a week, and sometimes it's on offense, sometimes it's on defense. This past week, I broke into the offense. I will say I got my first weird complaint where someone was like, you never break into the defense anymore. Man, I broke in the defense 2 videos ago. What are you talking about? And also, man, this defense is not fun to watch. That's part of the reason I don't like breaking into it, because there's not a whole lot. Usually when I've broken into it, it's been more like a player breakdown. But yeah, that's where you can find me, Harrah ATL. Always happy to talk football with literally anybody. I mean, literally anybody. Yes, even you. So,
all right, man. We'll appreciate you, buddy. And like I said, we'll be back next week. So y'all have a hell of a week. Let's get that victory in Denver on Sunday. Get back in the winning ways. Go into the week off, feeling good about ourselves and with a smile on our face. That'd be ideal, man. Mike, anything you got, buddy?
No, I'm just saying to go watch the video that me and John did after the last show if you want to be more informed of the changes that we got coming up and the things that we got. And let's go get this victory on Sunday.
Yeah,
and like Steve again, because he is a veteran. Steve is part of the armed forces, so it's Veterans Day. So we want to give Steve some love and happy Veterans Day to anybody I missed.
Exactly. And like the video, comment on the video, anything you want. Just comment something so we can try to break through this algorithm thing, man. Help us out. Subscribe, all that good stuff. It all helps.
Because if you don't, I'm gonna have to start with your feet pictures and stuff. It's gonna get real kinky on Out of Your Falcon Mind, and I don't want to do that. So keep me from doing that by just sending an emoji, like the mind blow emoji. I don't want to show my feet.
We can't jump into that. No.
Oh man,
we're trying to break the algorithm.
Went 0 to 100 real quick, man.
On that note, we will see y'all next Wednesday. Mike, take us out, buddy.
Out of Your Falcon Mind. Peace.